heaps of people were kind of like, that's a really cool idea. You should make a thing of it. So one day I sat down at home with a beer and I just sat there. I bought Dogecoin.com. That's a bit funny. And I slapped the Doge face onto a coin and just put it live. And I wake up the next day to heaps of retweets. And my co-founder, who's based up in Portland, had messaged me and said, hey, I found that you can change I forked the Bitcoin source code or the Litecoin source code, and you can change the font to Comic Sans. I'm like, ooh, okay, we got to do this. Like, that's hilarious.
Let's move on to Bitcoin, shall we? That's a virtual
Bitcoin has now almost overtaken
all-time high this week of $900. Now, at its peak, if you have invested $1,000 a year,
Hey everybody, Chris here. Welcome. What's going on? Dogecoin still going sideways. We're still in this bearish market, but Doge is still holding above 6 cents. We had a couple little dips on Sunday, and of course, you know what these white circles mean, right? Buying more Doge. That's right, buying more Doge for our portfolio, catching the dips. But it wasn't only Doge that I bought. Also bought a few other things. We'll be showing that as well. Hope you all are well. We're going to be talking today about the markets overall. Where are the markets going to go from here? What has history shown us? And what are a few other people saying about the markets? We've got the bears and we've got the bulls. And we got a few that are right in between. So we'll be covering all of that. So welcome. Let me drop down here in the corner and we will say, hey, Jason. Jason is waiting for the bull market to return like all of us. Yes, all of us. And we'll be looking at a chart that if we repeat from 8 years ago, what could that mean? We'll look at 4 years ago too, but 8 years ago. That could look as well. Bulldozer, hey, bought some more as well. Awesome. Buying Doge, right? Always a good thing. But there's some other cryptocurrencies as well, which we have in our portfolio. We'll be talking about that in a minute. Right now, looking at the charts, 6.08. Yes, not great for Doge, but it's not below the 6 cent line here, right? We're still not in the 5, so not too worried. Would I prefer Doge to be higher? Of course. But while we have it here at this level, good time to accumulate, right? It's accumulation time. We keep talking about that word, accumulation, stacking, whatever you want to call it. Not financial advice, but I'm telling you what I'm doing and what we're doing with our portfolio, continuing to buy now. Could the prices go lower? They could. They always could. But right now, to me, there's a lot of good positive sentiment in crypto, particularly. So get to that in a minute. So this is the Dogecoin chart. And what we had was Dogecoin hanging out here over the weekend at about 6:15 or so. But then Sunday afternoon, we had this first dip. And this first dip was from Bitcoin. So let's go to the Bitcoin chart. So here was Bitcoin just flat as can be. at 26,590, 26,580, right around there. Bitcoin was just flat. Started to go on a little pump and then just dropped. Came back up, dropped some more. And you'll see the volume tick up there. And it's like, okay, here we go. Sunday afternoon, right? We're going to see some action. Started to recover. Volume had dropped down to almost nothing. But because of this action here on Bitcoin, I had Coinbase open and was ready to buy because I hadn't bought on Friday or Saturday for our portfolio. And I was like, I'm going to be ready. Was watching Bitcoin. And then we had Bitcoin just starting to go up and down, up and down, up and down. And it was just dropping. So we had this dip down to about 26.15 or so. And then it came back up. And then it started to dip again. And I was like, well, I'm going to catch some Bitcoin right there. So bought a little Bitcoin at about 26,260. It's like right there. And then flipped over to Doge and picked up Doge. And that was around 6.09 is where I bought the Doge. So that was that. And then there was the second dump. And the second dump of Doge picked up at 605. Bought some more Doge. So I was like, okay, got some Doge, got a little Bitcoin. We'll see the trading come up, see what happens. And then ETH. Yeah, I picked up some ETH as well when I bought that Doge. A little bit more ETH for the portfolio, about 1576 or so was the ETH. So was feeling good about that. And things went kind of sideways. And then overnight, there was another drop. So this morning got up and Doge was actually just a little above where that last Doge buy was at 605. But I went over to Bitcoin and Bitcoin was even lower. And I was watching it this morning and then I was like, I got to get some here. So picked up Bitcoin at 26.05, right around there. Didn't quite hit that one little tail that went down, but that was pretty good. But then ETH was also lower, and I got ETH right there on the tail at 1565. So that was great because then ETH has been raising up. So I was like, could that be the bottom? Could that be the bottom there for 2023? And it's only going to go up from here? Maybe. That may be true. So what does this mean overall? Well, our portfolio is now, we've got 8,900 in the portfolio. We're down about 4.8%, down 466. So we've got about 93% of the funds that I'm putting in to buy crypto in the portfolio now. So we're just about done as we're coming to the last week of September. This is what the plan was, right? The plan in mid-July was we're going to buy to the end of July, throughout August, and throughout September, which are typically in the 4-year cycles, typically red months. So we were just going to DCA, just continue to buy. And here we are. We're right on target here to end the month buying the rest of our crypto and have this all bought probably by Saturday. That's the plan. Sticking to the plan. Overall for Dogecoin, we've got 61,000 Doge. And that represents about almost 42% of the overall portfolio is Dogecoin. Not bad. We've got some Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, Litecoin, Algorand, little Shiba. Algo has come down in percentage. We had a nice run for Algorand the end of last week. And then today it's just dumping back down, which is too bad for Algo. But overall, that's what we have. And for those who are watching either live or on video, on the video replay, who don't know what this portfolio is, this is a $10,000 portfolio that I'm doing right here in the summer of 2023. And when we sell this in the bull run, I don't know, out of the 10,000 invested is going to be worth 20,000, 30,000, 40,000. I don't know, whatever it is though, I'm going to keep half the profit and the other half I'm going to give to you guys. That's the deal. I'm going to give to you guys. And all you have to do to be eligible is to join my YouTube channel. Just hit that little join button there, like Bulldozer and Jason have. Hit that little join button there. You join the channel, and you will be eligible for the payouts in Dogecoin. I will be paying in Doge. For those that are members of the channel, I'll just ask you to send me your Doge wallet, and I will send you Dogecoin. The Dogecoin will be divvied up by percentages. The longer you have been a member of the channel, the more Doge you're going to get out of that. So that's the deal. Now, if you believe in the 4-year cycles and that we are going into a bull market next year, by the end of next year maybe, or into 2025, we don't know what this portfolio is going to be worth. Could be a lot. I mean, look at Doge. Doge is just over 6 cents. Where do you think Doge is going to be a year from now, a year and a half from now? Exactly. Money. Bulldozers, like the money. That's right. It's going to be in the money. So this is what we're doing. If you have any questions, leave a comment below. Let me know what you think. I'll be glad to answer. But this is our portfolio. Right now, the only things in the green right now are Jasmine is in the green, Render is in the green, Galaxy is in the green. So we got 3 in the green right now. Algorand was, but now it's dropped back down because of today's little dumpage, which is too bad. Down 4% today. Yikes. That hurts. But I think it'll come back. It'll be fine. But that's what we got. So, buying on the dips. We'll buy again on Wednesday probably, and then again on Friday or Saturday. And then we'll be done with the buying. Hopefully, this isn't a downtrend tonight. And this is just a temporary little dip here we have. And this will turn around. This is the ETH chart, Bitcoin also, and now Doge 608. That's where Doge is. So what is going on in the markets? Well, Bitcoin holding at 26K. A lot of people calling for drops to 25.2 and then maybe even lower. Ethereum, Dogecoin headed lower last week, and then we saw that dip on Sunday. And what's happening with the equity markets? Well, we could have this October relief rally. That's something we're got our eyes on. Into the block reported steady price movement of Bitcoin, particularly noteworthy given recent stock market decline. That's what we saw last week. Today, stock market was a little even, a little up. So same with Bitcoin. But we also had the dollar and the DXY going up. And typically when the dollar goes up, Bitcoin goes down. But they're both kind of going up today. So that's not bad. That's not bad. Here it says the correlation between Bitcoin and dollar index has dropped to 0, indicating no longer a relationship between the two. So something's holding Bitcoin up and keeping it from dropping. Wonder what that could be. And then Michael Vanderpop went into some of his predictions of the overall crypto market for total market cap. Crypto Tony predicts macro outlook for Bitcoin. According to his roadmap, he thinks Bitcoin is going to drop down to 20,000. Meanwhile, Rec Capital says the month of October has usually been favorable for Bitcoin. So a 10% rally, if that indeed happens for Bitcoin, it would bring the price back up to about 29,200. So that's what he's looking for in October, is actually a 10% rally. So if we have a 10% rally in Bitcoin to 29.2, what would a 10% rally look like for Dogecoin? At 6 cents, 10%? That's only 6.6 cents. That doesn't reach 7-cent mark. So we would hope for a little bit more for Dogecoin. Meanwhile, we have another expert warning of a $440 billion total crypto market share wipeout. This is Nicholas Merton. Anticipated downturn attributed to Federal Reserve's hawkish approach and tightening of liquidity. What he's looking at is because of these, because of what's happening in the stock market, reacting to the Federal Reserve, you could have companies like Microsoft and Apple or so have negative performance that dries up liquidity out of the markets, particularly more risk-on markets like cryptocurrencies are. And with that, you could see people not buying Bitcoin. His quote is, are people really going to be rushing to Bitcoin? And I look at this as saying, well, maybe not right away. However, you're not going to be having people selling their Bitcoin. So I'm guessing it's going to be more choppy and more even. And you're not going to see this wipeout. It's going to be choppy. Do you know why I say that? Because of Bitcoin ETFs. The spot ETFs that are coming for Bitcoin, the BlackRocks, ARK Invest, and other big people in the business that have a lot of assets under management, Grayscale, others. That's going to bring new buyers into the market. And with a spot ETF, if somebody, let's say they have BlackRock as their, financial advisor, right? And they call up their broker and they say, okay, I want to get into Bitcoin. I want 10 Bitcoin. That means BlackRock needs to have at least 10 additional Bitcoin in their wallet to back up the 10 Bitcoin they would be buying for their client. That's how the spot ETF works. So if BlackRock has a portfolio that has 1,000 Bitcoin in holdings, they need to have at least 1,000 Bitcoin in their wallet to back it up. That's how it works. Now we also hear rumblings about ETH ETFs. And Jason's saying, I'm waiting for the Dogecoin ETF. Doubt that will happen, but Dogecoin has other things going for it, which we'll get to in a minute. So I don't see this wipeout, this $440 billion wipeout in the crypto market. Do not see it at all. They talk about Bitcoin going down to 15 to 16K again. That's where Bitcoin was back last November when we had that FTX crash. That was major. There's nothing major like that happening. So that's my take on it. But some people are saying this. Now, we also have Dogecoin retracing back with slight gains, but possibly a minor correction. And as I've been showing on the charts with Doge, when we get to the 4-hour chart here and we look at Doge just staying above 6 cents, and any time that it dips below, it trades right back up. And this was that big purchase we made at 595 back here on September 11th. And even earlier than that, we had from August 17th, we had a dip below 6 cents, traded back up. Another dip, didn't quite hit 6. Another dip, didn't quite hit 6. Another dip, came below, traded back up. This big one, below, traded back up. And now we have it here. What we just had yesterday was a dip down to like 6.02 and traded back up. This is solid support line at 6% or 6 cents. And every time Doge drops to it or just below it, it just gets bought back up. That is pretty strong. So that's where Doge has been for the past month plus. That just looks to me to be a solid support line for the trading of Dogecoin. Not bad. So what does Rec Capital say? Well, they're looking at the relative strength index. They're looking at the macro picture, waiting for further developments. As long as Doge maintains the channel bottom as support, it has done thus far, it may play out well and enable the price to revisit the channel top, which they think is around 7 cents. But they first think it's going to come down to about 5.8, and there's going to be a dip to 5.8. If there's a dip down to 5.8, I'm just telling you what I'm doing, but I'd be buying more too if we see that. Just like everyone else who's going to be buying as soon as we see Dogecoin drop below 6 cents. There's a lot of buyers here. I don't even think it's going to get to 5.8, 5.9 maybe, and it just gets eaten back up. So many limit orders, so many limit buy orders are down here. Because that's what we keep seeing for the trading of Doge. We keep seeing that just getting back up. So if this negativity kind of continues forward into October, I feel pretty confident Doge is just going to be hanging around and isn't going to have this a big dip that's going to be maintained for very long. So that's what we see. And Bitcoin, 25,580 was our line of support. Right now, it's hanging up here right over 26K, but 25,580 is my line here that I've got. And so Bitcoin hasn't tested that yet. Right now, it's kind of looking like it may be seeking a new support line as I'm looking at this at 26K. We could have that as new support based on this trading over the weekend. So we'll watch that on Bitcoin. So will Dogecoin bounce back to 7 cents? Here's what to watch for. Doge has been ensnared in a prolonged period of stagnation, hinting at the ongoing battle between the bulls and the bears for market control. And that's what we've got with this sideways trading, right? Extended phase of activity has been persistent for over a month, signifying a short-term consolidation stage, which is what we have been talking about, right? Consolidation. Against the backdrop of a tumultuous cryptocurrency market, Doge enthusiasts and investors eagerly seeking cues for the coin's next move. Right now, in my opinion, it's just going to follow Bitcoin until something happens, particularly with Doge, that causes Doge to spike. Dogecoin itself isn't going to have any negative news that's just about Dogecoin. There's not going to be some huge minting of new tokens, right? Like what we're seeing with Optimism, for instance. Optimism is having this huge, huge number of new tokens, and it's just trading down. That doesn't happen with Doge. We know how many new Doge are minted every day as rewards to miners who are validating transactions on the blockchain, keeps Dogecoin safe and secure. That's how Dogecoin works as a proof of work cryptocurrency. You've got other cryptos, these proof of stake ones, and they could just mint new tokens out of the blue, whatever they want. Some of it is scheduled and some of it is not, depending on the token. You've got to be careful. I mistakenly bought a bunch of Optimism because everything that was going on with the project earlier in the year, and didn't really look closely enough at all of these new tokens that are coming out. So I'm a little down on my Optimism purchase. But we'll continue to hold for it to come back because I believe in the project. But a little upset with myself that I didn't do enough research into the project. But Doge, we know. We know Doge. So nothing else really in this article. They look at some charts and some support. Again, 5.9 cents Same one that I've been looking at, 5.9. Bulldozer says about anything under 7 cents is a deal. 6 cents for Ariel. Again, where are we going to be 6 months from now or a year from now? And we'll be looking at this chart saying, wow, it was a good time to buy. And look at all these little marks, right? These are all the little buys we were making, all these little white marks here across. This is us buying Doge, just DCA strategy. Buy big. Bought a big chunk right there. And then buy. So that's what we've been doing. We'll see how that turns out. But it's what I was willing to do to share with you guys, those interested in Dogecoin. This is a strategy. But also, because I believe in diversity, yeah, we bought some other things as well. So we've got exposure to Bitcoin and ETH and XRP. And the XRP I bought was just because I don't have any XRP in my own portfolio, because you couldn't buy it on Coinbase or couldn't get it in Robinhood or Webull. And those are the exchanges that I trade on, which are right here. We got Webull, we got Coinbase, we got Robinhood. And I have links to all of those in the description below. With Webull and Robinhood, you get some free stocks if you join using my link below. And if you don't like the stock, you can sell it and buy some crypto, get some Dogecoin. If you want Dogecoin, you can just do that. In Coinbase, you use my link below to join Coinbase, and I think you've got to deposit $100 onto Coinbase. And when you do that, then you get a free spin of the wheel. And with that spin of the wheel, they will give you some Bitcoin. We're doing that. So check those out if you want to. Well, a little thing, Elon Musk teases next big X update in chat with the Dogecoin designer. It's like, what? Next big X update? This sounds really cool, right? Well, CB Doge had basically said that there's still this sort of birdhouse icon, which was used as to get home on Twitter. And I don't know where the birdhouse icon actually showed up on Twitter, but apparently it's still there on X. And CB Doge is basically saying, yeah, X should retire this. And Elon Musk says, we will. That doesn't sound like a big X update. So again, this is you today, just kind of a slow news day. Just slow news day. Not much going on. So they make a whole article out of this. And it's just, but we know when it comes to Elon Musk and X Twitter, payments. How long is it going to take for payments to be implemented on the X app? Because that is going to be the key. That is going to be huge. The price of Dogecoin will take off when that is announced. Another reason to accumulate now. Again, just telling you what I'm doing. Will the price go down from here? It could. We don't know. However, if you think in the past, if you go back in the past, and Benzinga has this article, if you had invested $100 into both or all three, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Dogecoin, when Joe Biden took office as president of the United States, here's how much you'd have now. This article goes a little bit into politics about cryptocurrency, particularly Bitcoin. Senator Elizabeth Warren is leading an anti-cryptocurrency push in the United States Congress. But meanwhile, you have Ron DeSantis, governor of Florida, running for president. He's got a measure in the state of Florida that basically says that CBDCs are illegal. There's another, Tom Emmer has introduced a bill in Congress, which is an anti-CBDC bill. I doubt it will get passed. If it gets passed in the House, it probably won't pass the Senate. And we know that the White House last year had put together this sort of cryptocurrency task force because they want to reduce the risk for investors, which is why Gary Gensler is on the warpath against cryptocurrencies as well, to reduce risk. But it's doing a lot more harm than good, particularly in development of blockchain technology, and because any company that wants to develop anything regarding cryptocurrency now has to go through all of these hoops in the United States, and just easier to go to another country and do it than to deal with the United States, which is too bad for the US. But then you've got other candidates like Vivek Ramaswamy on the Republican side and Robert F. Kennedy Jr. on the Democrat side, who are accepting cryptocurrency donations in their presidential campaign and have spoke positively about Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. So that's good. We don't know where Donald Trump stands. I mean, he had his big NFT collection, so we know he owns a bunch of ETH now, but he still has never really said anything about crypto openly. So we don't know what'll happen there. But if we go back and we said, look, if you invested $100 in each of Bitcoin, ETH, and Doge when Joe Biden began his presidency, what would you have now? So the prices, January 20th, 2021, that's when Joe Biden took office. Bitcoin was 36,378. ETH was 1405, and Doge was under a penny. So with the current price being 26,100 for Bitcoin, 1572 for ETH, and 6.07 cents for Doge, that means your Bitcoin is down 28%. ETH up 11.9%. That's pretty good. But Dogecoin up 560%. Dogecoin. It's all in the timing of when you buy, right? It's when you buy. I mean, right now, a lot of people would love to see Bitcoin at 36,000 again, because it's not. It's lower than that now. But Doge, I mean, no one wants to see Doge under a penny again. But if you have bought Dogecoin on January 20th, 2021, you'd be up 560%. So when we're sitting here and we're looking at Dogecoin at 6 cents right now, just saying, we don't know where the price of this coin is going to go from here. And I've shown on other videos and in other live streams what can happen going forward. If Bitcoin was 25K and it does a 4x, right? 4x, that goes to 100K, right? That's what a lot of people are predicting. Bitcoin will be 100K. 4x. Look at Dogecoin at 6 cents. 4x is 24 cents. 24 cents. Are you happy with 24 cents for the price of Dogecoin? Because a lot of Bitcoin maxis will be hooting and hollering and celebrating when Bitcoin gets to 100K. But if Dogecoin just trades with the same percentage gain as Bitcoin, if Bitcoin in a bull market does go to 100K, Dogecoin will be at 24 cents. I'm kind of thinking Doge would be a little bit higher than 24 cents when Bitcoin is at 100K. So you decide what you want to invest your money in, right? I have a little exposure to Bitcoin, sure. And we do that in here we've got 10% of our portfolio in Bitcoin, but we have 42% in Doge. And it's just, I mean, look, Bitcoin 36,000 on January 20th, 2021, and now it's at 26,000. It's lower. So going forward, yeah, there's a little more risk. However, there's a greater reward. And if you're already investing in cryptocurrency, which is risky there, wouldn't you like to have some Doge? There's a lot of other people who are getting exposed to Doge. Ben Armstrong has talked about Dogecoin. Even Rob, Digital Asset News, he's just talking about Dogecoin more and more. And now he's doing a DCA strategy with his altcoins, and he's including Dogecoin now. And they're talking about Elon Musk and XApp and SpaceX and all these things that we've been talking about for a long time. They're now talking about it on their channels and exposing more people into the world of Dogecoin and what can happen. So I'm just saying, it's coming. So Dogecoin's resilience and community support amidst market volatility, what lies ahead for meme coins, but specifically Doge? What lies ahead? So, in the ever-evolving world of cryptocurrencies, where digital assets rise and fall, one peculiar coin stands out with unwavering resilience and a sense of community that transcends the ordinary. We are talking about Dogecoin, the beloved meme-inspired cryptocurrency, which has recently shown remarkable stability even in the face of market volatility. This stability that Dogecoin has, we've been talking about the last couple of weeks, where Bitcoin has been trading up and down and Dogecoin is nice and smooth, which is amazing. But Dogecoin is more stable than Bitcoin, but that's because of this solid support at 6 cents. And this anticipation of what's going to happen in the future. And now we're seeing it with Bitcoin, with coming spot ETFs for Bitcoin. I think that risk of these big future dips is just decreasing and decreasing as time goes on. Now, will there be a big recession? Will there be other banks and other things that have volatility? Those things can still happen. And cryptocurrency could be the safe bet, especially if we have stock market crash or something like that. That's not bad. The rise of meme coins like Dogecoin, Sheeb, Floki during the last crypto hype cycle captured the imagination of retail traders worldwide. These coins gained value primarily through community engagement, social media buzz, speculative fervor, there was certainly that, rather than technical utility or intricate blockchain innovations. However, what have we seen? We've seen Sheeb, right? Shibarium now. There are projects being built on Shibarium. And as more and more of those projects break out of that Sheeb ecosystem and start to get others from outside using those kinds of dApps and other things within Shibarium, I think that's pretty good. Not bad for a meme token. And Doge, again, those things that we've been talking about could be coming for Doge, particularly Elon and XApp. As retail traders flock to these meme coins, questions naturally emerge regarding their long-term sustainability as the crypto market matured. Can meme coins withstand the test of time, or are they destined to fade into obscurity as the industry evolves? Out of these three, Doge and Sheeb have a chance. Floki, yeah, I'm not so sure about. But Doge and Sheeb are still looking good. Meme coins are unlike any other category of cryptocurrencies. Their value is intrinsically tied to the strength and vibrancy of their communities. Dogecoin in particular has demonstrated remarkable staying power evolving from a jest into a beloved symbol of internet culture. Its enduring popularity is a testament to the enduring appeal of meme coins as a unique and welcoming gateway to the world of digital assets. That's Doge. I think that's why Elon Musk got involved with it too. It was initially because of the memes, but then more, he can see the value of it and what it can actually do, which is very cool. So we're waiting. And that is the theme of this stream today. And this video is, we're waiting. Like a good boy, right? Like a good boy, the dog waits. And what are we doing? We're accumulating. Some of you in the chat have told me as well. Leave a comment below what you think about Dogecoin and this accumulation period in the markets. Because if we look at the future, we can look at what has happened in the past just as a reminder. We've talked about the 4-year cycles that are also around the Bitcoin halving, as well as the United States presidential elections, which always seem to spur buying of risk assets, which we'll see a year from now when the elections are going on for the United States presidency. It's going to be exciting times. So we can look back at 2019, and this is the one we were looking for, where September Bitcoin was down 15% in 2019. Well, this year it's up 1.6%. A lot of people were talking about Rectember, right? Rectember. September was going to be awful because August Bitcoin was down 12.5% after losing 4.5% in July. That was a tough month, August was. So what were we doing? We were buying cryptocurrency, again, in those 3 months. And that was because in 2019, we had losses 4.7%, 7.4%, and 15% in July, August, and September. And so that's when I started buying for this portfolio, was halfway through July, knowing that I'd be buying throughout August and September. And that was just based on this. But not only 2019, but you go back to 2015. 2015, July actually was up 10%. But then August in 2015 was down 18%. And then had a little uptick in September, like 3%. So I'm starting to think that 2023 might be looking more like 2015 than 2019. And so what happened in 2015? Well, in October, Bitcoin went up 31%. November, it went up 14%. In December, it went up 18%. 31, 14, 18. If Bitcoin repeats that in 2023, that is starting bull market early. Because in 2019, we didn't have that. 2019 had this 10% rise, and that's what I was talking about just a little bit ago, where if Bitcoin goes up 10%, it's back up to 29.2, but Dogecoin would only be 6.6 cents going up 10%. I kind of like 30% better than 10%. But then what happened in 2019, Bitcoin dumped back down 18% in November and down 3% in December. Yuck. I don't like that. I don't want that to happen. So we don't know what these months here in white are going to look like in 2023 for October, November, and December. But based on 4-year cycles, I mean, October has generally been a green month. You look at every year, even 2022, bull market year, Bitcoin was up 6%. 27% in 2021, 29% in 2020, bull market, 10% 2019. 2018, last bear market, it was only down 4%. Look at 2017, up 46%, up 13% in 2016, up 31% in 2015. So October, generally a good trading month for cryptocurrencies. That's why I wanted to be done buying in September for our portfolio. Be done and ready. And let's see whether that green happens again. So Doge Nation says it makes sense to me to own at least one full Bitcoin for the long term. You never know between Bitcoin and all the other coins. You never know, but I think it's good to have some Bitcoin too. Mr. Cheyenne says, Moon Boys. John, how are you? Elon is already seeking license for X. Yep. He's going state by state. And he has like 7 or 8 states already secured with licenses. Some of them are just financial licenses and aren't specifically for cryptos yet. I'm not quite sure what he needs to do to get that, but if he's got a team working on it, you know he's going to see it through. That's what he does. So, gang, that's what we have for today. Are we going to see more dips? Probably. There's going to be some volatility. There's going to be some dips. And during this week, when there are dips that come back down here, I'll be buying more into our portfolio. I don't have much left to do, about $630 left to spend to top this off. And then after that, it's going to be a wait and see through the greens and watch the portfolio turn green and see what it does in the next bull market. Leave a comment below. Let me know what you think. Always give the video a like. Appreciate the support. And if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, please do. I always appreciate that support. And join the channel if you want to be part of the Kriss Pack's portfolio. I'll be paying out profits in Dogecoin, but you have to be a member of the channel in order to get some of that. I'll be back again Wednesday, live, 5 o'clock. I'm doing a fun video tomorrow, just a little fantasy, which will be a fun one, kind of playing off some of the things we talked about today, particularly like if you had bought Dogecoin back in January of 2020, how much more you would have than Bitcoin. Actually, Bitcoin was in a loss and Doge was in a big gain. But I'll be doing another comparison too, which will be very interesting. You guys will enjoy the video. So that'll be tomorrow, and then it'll be back live Wednesday at 5 o'clock. There's more updates, what's going on. Hope you're all well. We'll see you soon.
Dogecoin, which started as a complete joke, has like skyrocketed to not a joke anymore. It hit an all-time high of almost 10 cents yesterday, but it was so minuscule you wouldn't have understood why you have millions of shares.
Didn't Elon tweet that too?
And arguably, the most entertaining outcome and the most ironic outcome would be that Dogecoin becomes the currency of Earth in the future.